Now I'm gonna talk about the next game. It's a game we finished time and time again, and probably my favorite two-player game of all time, Turtles in Time.
Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Say it again. Say it again.
Turtles in Time.
Oh yes,
Was it made by Konami, I believe?
it was. Yes.
Two-player. Like, what else do you want? Like, great controls, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which were huge. Fun levels, fun bad guys. All the bad guys were from the cartoon series that we were loving at the time. Each turtle had kind of slightly different attributes. For me, it was always Donatello. My brother would be Leonardo. It was cool. You can actually change the style of the characters as well. You can have them looking kind of like the movie, or you can have them very cartoony.
Yeah.
Do you remember that level where you have to get Shredder? You have to actually throw foot soldiers onto the screen.
Oh, it was. I guess the word is fun, right? It was probably the most fun game on the Super Nintendo. At least two-player, for sure.
We must have played that game at least 50 times in our lives.
Yeah. And you finish it, but you just play it again and again. It's so good.
It was just, yeah, it had good music. Controls were awesome. The bad guys were awesome. Definitely Turtles in Time. One of my favorite games of all time. Now, one of the later basketball games that came out, that now everyone knows about, NBA Jam, was introduced in our time. Now, just talking about before, you had NBA Live, probably had some other, crappy games that we didn't really care about. But everything was realistic. Yeah, we had the NBA All-Star Challenge where it's 1-on-1. We had that game as well. You had nothing you had everything that was realistic. Then came NBA Jam, and people went crazy. When's the first time you remember playing that game?
First of all, that's pretty much the opposite of NBA 2K. So, the first time I remember is playing at Mateen, or was a friend of mine's house, and he was showing me the game, and I was like so impressed. But I found it so funny that you could have these players jumping like 20 feet above the rim, spinning, dunking on. It was just mad, but it was so much fun, and you could play 2-on-2. You could play together. You could play against each other. It's just a great kind of arcade feel, and yeah, you could alley-oop, you could do everything, and it was very fast. It was a lot of fun.
I remember you played it first, and you came home and told me, "Oh my God, you just played an amazing basketball game." And as a kid, you were really defensive about the games you owned. So I was like, "Oh no, it can't be better than NBA Live. NBA Live is the greatest thing of all time." You're like, "No, it's really different. It's really fun." I'm like, "No way, nothing's better than NBA Live." As a kid, you just loved your stuff. You didn't want anyone else having anything better. Then we went to Bata, and all the Middle East guys.
Shout out to Bata in Middle East.
Riyadh, you know what Bata's all about. Ain't even gotta fake it there. Everything is fake there, but yeah. They have Super Nintendo grills really cheap. Obviously, they're not authentic, but they worked great. They kind of had like Super Famicom type of shells, but they worked on your original Super Nintendo. So when we got NBA Jam, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. First of all, it was just like 2-on-2, you know what I mean? Like, that concept was just weird. Like, what? I want to enjoy this. But then you have the monster dunks, monster rejections. He's on fire! All that awesome stuff, and you actually see like the ball like going to the hoop and calls.
I swear, people still use that phrase. He's on fire.
Like the rim going on fire and stuff. It was so cool.
Yeah.
And you could like score from anywhere on the court. Very arcadey, very fun. Pick up and play. You didn't really have to know about basketball too much to play that game.
Yeah.
Now talk about when we used to play together and we were trying to finish the game. What used to happen?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is what used to happen. So I would dribble up the court, and I would try to make a shot. And as my shot was going in, my partner, Maverick, would jump, intercept the ball, and dunk it. Now, this is two players in the same team. So I ended up having like 100 assists, and he ended up having like 100 points. But you stole my points, man.
Used to reject you. Don't come into my home, my own teammate.
Yeah, and he used to block his own teammate, which was, I don't know why, but surprisingly, we still finished the game together somehow.
But that's what made it fun as well. Like, what other game could you reject your own teammate and, let it happen? NBA Jam was just amazing. Tournament Edition, all that stuff that came afterwards was just great. Loved it. Now, we missed out on a lot of great games, I guess, that you only find out when you're older. I always heard about Zelda,
Oh, yeah.
A Link to the Past. At that time, I was just a young kid and I was looking at magazines. I didn't know what an RPG was. But I would know that it was like a top-down action game. That's what it looked like. And it was one player. I'm like, oh no, forget this. I don't want no top-down, one player only. Back in the day, if you have a brother or even a sister who games with you, you normally went for two-player games at the same time. Which is kind of why I didn't buy Final Fight and just used to borrow it sometimes. You always wanted that game that you can actually play with someone else. If it isn't your brother, your friend. So yeah, I played Zelda Link to the Past first time probably about 2 or 3 years ago. And it's a cool game. And I definitely need to put more time into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, even you probably played Zelda for the first time ever on Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean, I had friends who had it, and I watched them play a little bit. But it just seemed, at that time, something that took a lot of time. And, yeah, I don't know why I didn't get into it, but I wish I had. But it's never too late, right? So
I guess that's what the cool thing about Super Nintendo is, like, even now, you hear about games that you never heard about before. And they're fun as hell.
Yeah.
And there's so many great games, even like Disney games like Aladdin was so fun.
Oh yeah. Let's not forget some racing games: F-Zero, Top Gear, Super Mario Kart.
I love Top Gear too. I don't know why, I was obsessed with that game I used to borrow from my friend.
It was like the first pure racing game on the SNES, like just normal kind of racing, Yeah, it was a great game.
Mario Kart was really fun, very unique.
Yeah.
This was the first Mario Kart ever.
Oh man.
So Super Nintendo really introduced a lot of new, series. The first game was on Super Nintendo. It was just an amazing time to be.
Innovative is the word, I think. It was such a huge leap from the NES. Such a huge leap.
And even now, it's one of those consoles you put in a decent game, it'll still look amazing. The 16-bit graphics is still my favorite graphic style of all time. It's simple but very attractive, done right. The music back in the day was the best.
Absolutely, yeah. And all these indie game developers who made Fez and Braid and Limbo, they're all influenced by the SNES or Mega Drive, 16-bit or 8-bit. And all those kind of games are coming back. And it's refreshing to see something like that as opposed to, Call of Duty. Overrated.
Of course, you had your really bad games as well, like Clay Fighter, Cool Spot.
Cool Spot, yeah.
That game looked fun, but I don't know, I heard it's pretty bad, but I might check it out. Of course, the Shaq Fu and all that stuff, but yeah, every console is going to have rubbish games, but the majority of them were pretty cool.
Anything with Shaq that isn't basketball is pretty bad, to be honest.
Oh man, was it Shazam? I don't remember that movie he made.
You don't need to remember it, man.
Oh, he was in that movie. Blue Chips wasn't that bad, but yeah.
Oh yeah, Blue Chips is good. Yeah, with Penny Hardaway. Yeah.
Well, yeah, other than that, yeah, Shaq, please. Just stick to commentating now, I guess, and being funny. But yeah, that was the Super Nintendo. Obviously, there's a lot more games. You can't just talk about everything. Take hours and hours. But if you're talking retro consoles and still having fun playing them, easily Super Nintendo comes to mind. Whenever my friends come over, even in high school, I had one friend. Me and him would play Street Fighter for 3 hours in a row. And we'll just keep battling each other over and over again. 3 hours, like, oh man, you can't do that with new games. like Super Tennis, Street Fighter 2. Even now, like I'm playing Zelda. Still, that console is my favorite of all time. I don't think it will ever be eclipsed. You think you'll ever enjoy a console as much as you did with the Super Nintendo?
No. It was not just the Super Nintendo, but the time in our life was very special. The friends we had, the place we were at, and just life in general at that point. A lot of gaming is tied to memories, and that's why it makes it extra special.
So yeah, guys, we'll cut it there. Just want to say, if there's any other games that we forgot to mention, we might do an episode later just on those games. Maybe, back in the days, what were our favorite games and stuff like that. But you can't talk about every Super Nintendo game.
Sure.
It's definitely a console I recommend everyone check out. Unfortunately, the prices for the games now are really stupid. And straight up, man, just emulate it if you can.
Absolutely.
Just so you can play it. Like, who cares, Nintendo not gonna lose money off it now. It's been years. And yeah, of course, the physical game itself is always better. But £400 for like a game, hell no, just forget that.
Yeah, life is too short, man.
So like, emulate it, play it, enjoy it. If you can get on physical, go for it. But hopefully, when the prices go down, with the crash eventually happens, probably not anytime soon. But for now, it's easy to emulate. And, do it with a controller, man. Don't do it on your phone, touchscreen. It's not the same experience. So, yeah, I'm going to sign off. This is Maverick 16-Bit Gamer.
This is Demotion.
Thanks for listening, and stay tuned.
Thank you.